I stayed at my ex-husband Ken May's house for a week because his car broke down and I needed to drive him around. And during this week, well, I didn't know how it was going to go. A week's a long time to spend in your ex-husband's house, but it was okay. And we went to church together, to his church, and that's an interesting experience because the way that I live my life, as some of you may have noticed, is a little different, and I am allergic to sitting in a pre-decided box. This person believes in Jesus and Christianity. This person is New Age spirituality. This person is this way or that way. And when I go to church, um, yeah, I can feel that people are confused. I can feel it on Instagram and YouTube that people are confused about what box I fit into. What's your box? Um, and you can decide what box you want me to fit into if you need that. But I'm just here to talk about how cool Christians are. Christians are very cool. Christians love Jesus. Jesus is very cool. And when I walked into the church, I did have, whenever I go there at the beginning, I have this moment of feeling the energy of the space and feeling projections onto me. But after I pass over that, I go, okay, like, how do I want to show up in this moment? How do I want to show up for my daughter? How do I want to show up for myself? What kind of human being do I want to be? And what I go with, kind of like putting on clothes in the morning. It's like, do I want the blue shirt? Do I want the pink shirt? You get to choose, not better or worse, but I choose to be someone who shows up as love. What would love do? And love for me looks like truth and authenticity, genuinely connecting with the people in front of you and around you and seeing the best in them and taking what people do um, with the benefit of the doubt. So whether people judge you or not, um, we get to experience them as in our own perception. We get to experience them with the perception that we choose. We're always creating our own reality based on our perception. So I don't know how anyone else experienced me showing up at their church when they only see me a handful of times a year as Ken May's ex-wife. Um, but that's really their responsibility. However they're experiencing me is a reflection of who they are inside. Um, And I'm not saying this to put anybody down or say that you're less than if you judge other people. And if your default viewing system is to go, in what way is this person messed up? In what way is this person a heathen? In what way is this person ignorant and I know more than them? In what way am I better than this person? If that's how you show up in the world, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just where you're at right now. And maybe it will continue to be that way. Maybe you'll change. But it's just your perception of reality. And for me, it's cool to go to the Christian church because I love watching the way that they choose to engage with love. Like Jesus for them is about love. God is about love. The church is about love. It's a place to connect together as a group and an institution, uniting in this goal of submitting the ego and reclaiming the divinity of our lives. Going, Jesus, I submit myself to you as my Lord and Savior. It's one way to connect. And I have a very great personal relationship with Jesus that's different from maybe how some of people in the room are doing it. But is it really different at the end of the day? Like the result is the same in that I allow Jesus to facilitate my relationship with love, my relationship with a better version of myself, my relationship with softening into my highest self, softening into wholeness, softening into receiving the true love of God that exists within and around us at all times. Jesus helps me to do that through his role modeling and his energy. I don't use some of the words that Christians at the church would use, but yeah. Anyway, I probably won't post this because it's hard when you're not talking to a real human being in front of you. It's hard to know if what you're saying is relatable or word vomit. But yeah, I hung out at Ken May's house for Christmas's house. I hung out at Ken May's house for a week while his car was broken down, and went to church with him, and that's how I experienced it. Not much more to say. Maybe I'll talk about co-parenting for a second. There are absolutely times where I'm just counting down the years till May is old enough to run a semi-adult life, so that I don't have to deal with my ex-husband as frequently in a team anymore. Um, yeah, but that's just when I'm overwhelmed, or at the end of the day, he is a family member, just like how my other family members are family members, and we don't have to like everything that they do and their values, the way that they live their life, the way they communicate. We don't have to like them, but they're still family. So to some degree, the way I see it is just as part of my commitment to May, I owe it to her to invest in my relationship with her father.